What you're currently looking at may just seem like an ordinary closed-down Burger King. But what if I told you that inside lies a potentially historic landmark that you can only find at this one location? This is the Burger King Rock Formation.
These days, it's pretty hard to get things done your way. But not at Burger King. These days, it's pretty hard to get things done your way. But not at Burger King. These days, it's pretty hard to get things done your way.
Okay, I know that sounds really weird. A rock formation inside of a Burger King? Why the hell is that a thing? And for a while, I wondered that myself. How is there this giant rock in the middle of this now abandoned Burger King? Was it built inside the store? Did some customer just drop it off and leave? Or is it some historical landmark that they had to build around? Obviously, I highly doubt that second one, but I mean, this is Burger King, anything's possible. Now, if you look at photos, the building was clearly designed with the thought of this rock being here. It has a purpose, but what is it? Now, for context, I first learned about this Burger King rock a few years ago from my dad. He has some ties to the area where the Burger King is, and he would always hear horror stories, if you will, about the Burger King. Stuff about how the restaurant was always disgustingly dirty, and how the food was always horrible, even worse than your standard Burger King. But what really got me interested were the stories he heard about the rock. Apparently sometime many years ago, Burger King was looking to move into town, and specifically that area of town, as there were no other fast food restaurants in that area. Oh, before I continue, I should also probably mention that this Burger King is located in Dover, New Hampshire, just for context. Now, the reason Burger King specifically chose that plot of land is because it's right off the highway. I mean, right off. So it makes sense why you would want to put a fast food restaurant there. However, he was told that despite Burger King owning this really good plot of land, this historical Dover rock was right in Burger King's way. Now, typically, if you're a fast food restaurant and you have that rock, you would think, okay, can we remove it? But my dad was told that Dover refused to get rid of the rock. So in order to get around that, Burger King just built on top of the rock. Now, this made me insanely confused when he told me this. Why couldn't they just build the Burger King to the side of the rock? I found the whole thing to be pretty funny, and it became a joke me and my dad would always say. We'd mention the rock and crack a couple jokes about how weird the concept is. I mean, why build a Burger King surrounding a rock? Now, this whole rock thing really put me in a loop, but unfortunately, despite my best efforts, I was never able to see this rock in person. After a bit of time, the rock had left my mind, and I hadn't thought about it in months, until recently when my dad brought up the Burger King. He informed me that the restaurant had recently closed and that the roof had collapsed into the Burger King. Now, this got me wondering, how does a roof collapse in a Burger King, and most importantly, is the rock okay? I mean, this is a potentially historic landmark. How can it be ruined by a goddamn roof collapse? So I did something that I had never done before, and I hopped in a car. Now, arriving at this Burger King felt kinda surreal. I mean, this was a place that I had learned about 2 years prior, but had never gotten the chance to go to. And when I finally got there, it was clear that the Burger King had been closed for a while. Grass was growing in and around the parking lot. It looked like nothing had been touched in ages, and there was graffiti on the wall. Just so many signs of decay and neglectfulness. I mean, we were on the grounds of a potentially historic site, and you wouldn't know it at all by being there. But it was finally time for me to see this rock in person, and it was life-changing. Okay, I may have stayed silent in the moment, but it was pretty cool. Seeing this rock? I mean, it definitely looked like a rock. It wasn't until I went to a different side of the building that I really discovered just what had happened to the rock during the roof collapse. After the roof collapse and the subsequent closure, Burger King had just thrown all the tables and chairs onto the rock. It was honestly quite a sad sight to see. This historical landmark was right here in front of my eyes, yet there was no way to access it, and worst of all, It was in ruins. As I left Burger King that day, I had more questions than answers. I mean, it's such a weird thing to happen to already such a weird place. What even makes this rock so historical? Why is it so important? Now, I do have a couple theories. Theory number 1, the rock is the site of where George Washington first set foot onto American soil. Theory number 2, that's not just a rock, that's a person. That's the rock.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
After all of this, I finally broke down and did something that I probably should have done years ago, and I went to Google. And what I found on Google was nothing. There's no evidence of this rock ever being a historical landmark. In fact, I found out through asking people on Facebook that this rock was just built by Burger King for the hell of it. Which means that everyone who told my dad what the rock is was lying, and that for some reason the rock has a major reputation among the people of Dover of being this historical thing, when in fact, it's just a part of a Burger King. I find it interesting though, just how quick misinformation like that can spread. I guarantee you, one person just made a joke about the rock and it turned into this huge fake historical landmark, leading certain people like me to just get curious about it and go on a 2-year-long Burger King bender trying to figure out what the hell it means. So overall, this is just a rundown Burger King with a really weird centerpiece. I found this whole investigation type thing or whatever to be interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you. But hey, moral of the story is, always make sure that the information you're getting is correct. And for the love of God, never eat at a Burger King. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here and you want to support me, please hit the subscribe button down below and turn on notifications. If you're old here, you may have noticed that things are a little bit different now. The orange border, it's gone. Bye-bye. And it's a new style of video. This is the direction I'm going to start going in with my videos. Longer form videos on interesting topics that aren't just this week's bad Xbox game. This also means that video output is going to be slowing down more than usual to give me time to work on each video and make sure that it's the best that it possibly can be. I promise you I have a major video in the works that should be out within the next month or so, and this is genuinely going to be great. I've been working on it for over a month now, and I cannot wait for you guys to see this crazy story that I'm about to tell. So like I said, subscribe so you never miss a thing, and hit that like button while you're at it too. And I mean, if you're gonna do all of that, you might as well comment and share to your friends. I'm ashamed of what I've become.